What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, Mike and Mish, with the Mike and Mish Show. What's up, dog?
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show tonight.
It's going to be a good one. We got two great guests tonight, but you know what's up first? A new staple in our fucking household here.
Norcom Mortgage and Michael Mish are delivering the American dream to those who serve America, helping veterans obtain the dream of home ownership. They offer programs that include no money down, no first-time homebuyer requirement, 100% cash-out refinances, rehab loans. They can help you purchase a home, purchase a condo, refinance an existing mortgage, create a dream home with rehab loan. To learn more, visit www.michaelmish.norcommortgage.com or call 860-884-2103.
The greatest fucking commercial in the history of television production, internet production, any kind of production. That is our guys over at Norcom Mortgage, Mike Mish. You heard the name. Big time supporter of the show, so we're going to support him. Call him up. Do you guys know what wait, hold up, Mike? Do you know what a conforming loan is?
I do not.
I have no idea what that is either. But he posted something last night that conforming loan limits are increased to $726,200. I have no idea what the fuck a conforming loan is. But if you need a $726,200 loan, call up Mike Mish. Rewind this shit and check out that number and give him a call. And also sponsoring your boys, the Mike and Mish Show. It is our peeps over at Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. Look at Mike. Look at Mike with that Juggernaut sweatshirt on. I got the Go-Go Slaveski shirt on tonight. Check this thing out.
That's cool.
Yep, we got the Go-Go. We got all their fucking dope-ass gear. You got to go over to guerrillawarfareapparel.com. Hit them up, buy some of their stuff, use our promo code Mike and Mish, get 15% off your total purchase, and you can look as fly as your boys, Mike and Mish, and all them Slaughterhouse guys, and Misfit, and Juggernaut, and Killer Bee, and every other damn fighter that they're signing, because they're signing them all, man. What's going on, Mike?
Man, dude, what a weekend, huh? We had a good weekend of fights. I think it's the best one out of the last three for sure. This fight card I was really looking forward to. There was a lot of big fights on it, and it didn't disappoint. I mean, there was a portion of it that did disappoint, that a couple of fights got stopped due to cuts, but I feel like that's a given now, right? When bare knuckle cuts stop fights often, and it's a good thing. And
hold on a second.
For their health, it's a good thing. And
Mike, hold on a second. Susan Walker is in the comments, says she can't hear us. Has that been
hear us?
Susan, let us know if that's fixed or not. If everyone can hear us, let us know. I'm worried about that, but go ahead, keep talking.
So I was going to say that the leg injuries, two people wearing knee braces,
dude,
had hurt knees. So to me, says that their knees were hurt before the fights even started. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you have some problems, but like both of them right at the beginning of both fights, or they got hurt. I mean, it sucks for them, but
we were in Albuquerque. We were out in Albuquerque, and you and I both thought Jake Young tore his ACL. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
And then he shows up on this card, and I was like, dude, what? I thought
maybe he's good.
I thought he was out for like 6-8 months with a torn ACL. What's that all about? All of a sudden he's on this card, and then what happens? His leg buckles and he's out with a knee injury in the first round. That was disappointing.
That was a bummer.
But you know what? Even the two leg injuries, that doesn't take away from the fact that Tom Schoaf is a goddamn warrior, going in there, taking damage like crazy against the pound for pound best in the world, Luis Palomino. Just putting him on his ass like 4 or 5 times, bloodying him up. But Tom Schoaf just keeps getting up. He's a damn Terminator. He's like that, those wind up to it. It fucking goes forward, dude. Unbelievable. I wish, and at the time when they stopped it, I get it. I understand. Don
Dude,
Musi
he
does
had
a
a
job.
chunk. Did you see the
Yeah,
picture, the close up? That
that's what I'm
chunk of meat.
saying.
Oh my lord!
At the moment, I was just like, "Come on, man. We all know how tough Tom is. Let him stay in there." But then the afterward pictures where like his stitches go all the way up to his eyeball, like
Yeah,
he was ripped from the eyelid to his cheekbone.
that's crazy,
Just
dude.
crazy, just crazy. And I love that video. I shared it to our story today where he wipes his eye, and as he's wiping down, Mike, it like pushes on it and it squirts blood. And
Oh,
then he goes like this, like that, and the fucking blood flies off his fingers like Razor Ramon's sweat.
the
Dude,
goddamn savage.
it was awesome. And then, man, Louis Lopez came on our show last week. The kid was dialed in. He told us he feels better than ever. He feels like he's the top of the division already. He said that he's ready to shock everybody down there. And he said his coach, Joe Riggs, had a really good plan. We're going to go in there. We're going to implement the plan, and we're going to come out there a winner. And man, oh man, did he do that. What do you think about that performance?
I thought that he did a good job. So heading into the fight, Louis Lopez, the guy will get into crazy battles. We've seen his fights. He is a brawler. He loves to get in there and just fucking throw hands like a maniac. And I thought he was going to go in there and try to do that. But I feel like at first he kind of was picking and choosing his shots. And a couple of times he caught HD and one of them busted HD open. I think that made him upset. And then Louis Lopez seemed like he started to do a little bit more of a brawling technique, and it kind of pulled in HD like he was mad, kind of wanted to get him back for the cut. And shortly after that, the fight didn't last. It was called by the by the doctor. So that was one of those cut fights.
It was one of those cut fights.
But he was cut pretty good.
He was cut pretty good. It was another one that wanted to continue, but the doctor stoppage. And you know what? Every time a doctor stoppage happens, and if at first we're selfish fans,
Yeah,
and we're like, "Oh, come on, it can't be that bad." Like
he's good.
that's immediately my fucking thought.
Yeah, he's
Like,
walking,
dude. He's telling you that he wants to continue. Let him continue. But then they like show the cut up close, and then like we've been at events where we talked to Muzi afterwards, and he's like, he showed us a picture on his phone one time.
One time we saw an
I don't remember
eyeball
who it
that was blasted open, and we
Yeah.
were like, okay, all right, we
he's
get
like,
it.
this is why we're like, hey, can we ask you about that stoppage? And he was like, let me show you guys something. He's like, takes his phone out, and he's like, right there, you see that?
Yeah,
That's
it was
bone.
like, yeah, because it was, I think it was Gertz possibly. And because everyone was so mad after that, and they had zoomed in on the cut and stuff, but you couldn't quite see, like, he's looking not just at the cut like we are, he's looking inside of that shit because he's right there. And, it was kind of behind the scenes. A lot of people were saying like, oh, this is bullshit. And I actually got just like a short video clip of Gert's corner yelling at Muzi in the back, and they were getting like extremely mad, swearing at him and shit. And it got settled down really quick. People broke it up, but the guy was like trying to get back, and they were like, "You fucking are!" They were so mad at him. So it was a big thing. So it was had to be proven in the back. Like, look at this fucking guy's eye. Look at it right here.
Yeah, they're trying. They're stopping it
And it was
for
like,
the
okay,
sake.
I get it.
They don't want permanent damage on these fighters, and it's
was pretty bad.
understandable. It's pretty. It's HD's cut was pretty good. Schofi's was fucking real bad. So I get that stoppage too. But we have to talk a little bit about our boys, our Guerrilla Warfare sponsored fighters over there, dude. Brian Duran.
Oh man.
Yo, that dude is shot out of a cannon at all times. He is the most high energy, fucking crazy person at all times. And I'm telling you, he might be a little unorthodox the way he throws his punches, but I believe like all the conditioning that he's doing and all the shit that he's doing with his hand, like I think he hits different. I think he says it. Perez says it. They all say it. He hits different. And I don't know, man. He might not be the most technical dude in the world, but when he
we
when
haven't
he lands,
seen too much fighting from him. I mean, the guy's been he's been ending fights. His longest fight was against Futrell.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing next. We saw on the internet, we saw on social media. I don't remember who posted. I don't know if Steve-O posted it himself, but Steve O. Morris versus Brian Duran is supposedly next, maybe January, maybe as soon as January. I don't know. At a catch weight of 150. That's where I saw it. I don't know how serious that is. I don't know, man. That's a crazy one right off the rip like that. I don't know. What do you think about that fight?
Look, I know Duran's ready because that fight was 15 seconds and 4 seconds of it he was on his feet, basically. You know what I mean? Like
second
4
fastest,
seconds,
right?
What's that?
It was the second fastest knockout?
That's what it said, the second fastest knockout. So
what was the official time on it?
I think
Like
it was 15 seconds.
It was 15?
It was 15. Yeah, because they counted the.
Oh, they're counting the 10.
You know what's funny? Yeah, because he didn't get a knockout.
Clean.
Right?
It wasn't.
Clean.
He wasn't unconscious.
Right. If he went unconscious, it would have been like 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Right. So, but hey, it was fast as hell. I mean, I saw the other guy, and the other guy had a decent size, like height wise, over Brian. So I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. I wonder how, Brian's going to get on the inside because he's aggressive and see how that works out. That dude didn't even throw a single punch. He got hit right away, and that was it, man. I think he broke his eye socket. Shit.
Oh, he posted something like that. Brian said 3 fights, 3 knockouts, 4 broken orbitals. So
one of those guys has
both orbitals broken. I don't know which guy it was. I don't know if it was this fight the other night. But then, dude, you know what? Slaughterhouse also had Fames in there on Saturday night. I forgot about this one.
Fames and
Futrell are both Slaughterhouse fighters, and they put on a hell of a show, man. I was proud of both of those guys, for real.
A lot of people thought fight of the night.
If it wasn't going to go to they gave it to the main event, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
That was a great fight. That would be my other fight. That would be my other choice, probably. I would say.
A lot of people liked that fight. It got a lot of votes.
I would say that one. The girl fight was pretty good too. Christine, Vicines and Leibarger, who retired afterwards. She announced her retirement officially on Instagram.
You know what was weird about that was during the fight, you could hear Leibarger's corner say, only, this many rounds until the end of you retire. Just get in there and go have fun. You got to do something, put it all out there. And then the next round is over and they're saying the same thing. And Sean Wheelock is like, they never even mentioned that to us in the fighter meeting. So I was like, wow, that is kind of weird. Like they didn't mention it at all week, but in between every round, they basically mentioned it. So it was weird. I don't ever remember hearing a corner telling them like, hey, this is your retirement fight. Get out there and get it done. I don't know if they thought that would be motivating. I don't know. I thought in my head, like she'd go, fuck it. I'm done right now. Fuck it. I'm done.
Yeah.
But she went out there and kept fighting.
Dude, if I was the BKFC, and we talked about it when Christine was on the show, I would look at booking Martina Kroll and her. Martina Kroll's 1-0. She's now 2-0. Yep. She's a dog in there, man. She fights like a fucking
super aggressive.
She fights like an aggressive animal. She's got a nice jab as well. I think her and Martina Kroll match up very nicely, and I think that would be a fantastic fight. And in the meantime, if they're looking for something to do with Christine Faria, just go ahead and book Rachel Ostovich and do it. Like get it over with. Unless they're doing Beck Rollins at Knucklemania 3. I don't know if that's the idea. But if it's not going to be Beck, make it Rachel and just book these other two on the side and build them up, because I think Martina Kroll and Christine Vicines is a good matchup.
Yeah. That would be a very good one, and they need some female fighters to work their way up to Christine, because Christine is just on another level, and it's hard to see someone really contesting her. Which is, it really does suck for Christine, because she's worked her ass off and fought like a maniac, and she's at the top, but she's going to have to sit out unless they find her something. You know what I mean? So she's kind of suffering from being too good, I guess.
She's getting better too. That's the thing, man. If you, like me and Mike were watching the latest training video that Misfit put on her page on Instagram, and she's at the Money Team. She's at Mayweather's place training now. She just looks like on a whole nother level. Her hands are so fast. There's so much power behind her hands. her footwork's unbelievable. Her conditioning's incredible. She just looks like she's getting better and better. And like you just said, it's gonna be a tough task for them to find somebody to fucking stand
contest her
up
for the
with her.
belt. Yeah, no one seems to really be even not just on her level, but should anyone really be contesting for a title at this point? I don't think so.
I don't think so. They don't have anybody.
I would like to put out congratulations to a new champion, the middleweight champion, David Redneck Mundell. I mean, dude, Dave Mundell, what the hell? That dude came out with a fucking game plan. Unbelievable. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah. You know what? We talked about it on the way into this fight. Frank Ricci talked about it himself. Remember he said that, like, he said, oh no, was it Francisco Ricci that said that nobody looks good against Dave Mundell?
Mm-hmm.
That was like that was the one thing that he said that like stuck in my brain. Nobody's game plan ever works against Dave Mundell. He's just so technical. He's so poised in there. He has a plan. He sticks to his plan. He picks his shots and he lands them fucking things. And I'm going to tell you right now, he showed us how powerful he is that night, because that dude has dynamite in his hands. The fucking redneck's a champ now, man. That's congratulations to him, and shout out to his jorts.
Yeah, the jorts. We didn't realize that his boxing shorts were printed on denim, like it looked like ripped denim and shit. Like,
yeah, he had
so that
pockets.
Was really funny.
If you zoom in, he's got pockets like stitched. It looks like stitched in pockets on the ass of his shorts.
Yeah, it's really funny. I did not notice that during the fight at all. I only noticed it after he said it. But yeah, talking about Dave Mundell and people saying I'm never going to sleep on him again, and holy shit. And the thing with Dave is he's such a smart fighter, and very cerebral when he's in there. He doesn't rush into anything. He takes, he picks and chooses his shots. He doesn't get caught in the brawls. He doesn't get pulled into unwanted exchanges. Exactly. He is a smart fighter, and that's why, Ricci said everyone looks bad against him. He'll make you look bad. And I think a lot of people confused what he's doing with him being boring, because he shuts down the other fighter and then he waits for his time. So that can slow the fight down. So when a fan's eyes, they're waiting for action. He's waiting for that one opening and he's going to take it. He's not just going to go in and start slugging it out like a maniac. That's just the way that he fights, and it works for him. And he's the new champion. So congratulations to him. A little bittersweet. We love Ricci too, but he's, it's the name of the game. It's business. And
it was impressive. It was an impressive champion performance, and he deserved to take home that title that night. I'm sure Francisco will be right back in there. He's going to get his bearings together and, work his way right back in there. I don't know what's next. Like, you look at these two champions that came out of that night now. So is it Connor Tierney next for Luis Palomino? Is it somebody at 165? He mentioned to us that he would love to do a super fight with Mike Perry, even if it's not for a title, at 170. He mentioned a few things in the comments right now. Michael Hanowski's saying that Mundell beats Mike Richmond. Does Mike Richmond come back to 175 and fight Dave Mundell? I wonder what they do with those two titles now, because it's very interesting. Right now, they should let Mike Richmond and Lorenzo do his thing, and this sets up I believe that sets up a Mike Perry Dave Mundell 175 title fight.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. Even though I really wanted to see like the Ricci versus Mike Perry fight, but at now I'm not sure if they're gonna pull him out of that, who he's gonna fight next. But hey, he's right there. He's right there. There's Richmond, Cedeno, Yuli Diaz, and then Perry. Those are the next four fighters after Ricci in the top five.
Let me ask you this: what's next for Louis Lopez? Does Louis Lopez run it back with HD because of the doctor stoppage, or Do they see what happens between a Brian Duran and Steve O'Morris at a catchweight? And if Steve O'Morris wins that, he gets the they fight for a title at 145. It's about time they introduce a title in that one, in that weight class. They've been talking about a tournament for a year in that weight class and 125, and that I don't think either one of those are ever going to happen. So go ahead and take Louis Lopez, figure out who he's going to fight for a title, and introduce a champion at 145. I think it's necessary.
It's very necessary at this point because just about every division now has a belt, and that one doesn't. There's plenty of fighters. It used to be 145. We couldn't even come up with a top 5. There was like 3 people.
Oh,
it was like John Chalbeck, H.D. Davis, and like that was it. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about Bedford coming up to 145.
Yep.
Brandon Allen is what? 2-1. 2-1. And Howie Atherton says Kai if he'll fight. Kai versus
Louis. I think Kai is who it should be. It should be Louis Lopez versus Kai Stewart. That should be the next fight. Yep.
Or just next fight, not a title fight.
Well, I don't think they're gonna make it a title fight. So I just don't know what they're doing with the title right now. So I'm just saying the next fight for Louis Lopez, I think, should be Kai Stewart.
Yeah.
Louis Lopez has a lot of wins now.
And you know what? And they're both from the same area. And when Louis was on the show last week, he said, I have the whole state. He has one area. He said, Great Falls backs him. Montana backs me. Remember he said that?
Yeah, a little fight for the state there.
He said, I got it. I'm backed everywhere. He's backed in Great Falls. So that was a very solid statement by him on our show. And I believe that could be made. I just don't understand why they haven't introduced a title in each weight class so far. I mean, that's the last one, right? 125 and 145.
Right. 145 and like I was just saying, the 145 was really because there was only 3 fighters in that division. They're building that up. But since I don't know, 7 months ago, they just started adding so many people to that division, and now there's a lot of people in there. Why not? Let's put it on the line finally. I don't know what the holdup is. I really don't know. I don't know how it works because it used to be you have to do a tournament for the belt, but since then that's changed. They've put belts out there without the tournament. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next year. It is December. We're coming to the end of a very long, very prosperous year, I'd say, for BKFC. They've had tons of events. They have another event that's coming up this weekend, right?
Thailand,
yep, with Thailand. That's going to be awesome. That'll close out the year. And then next year is supposed to be even bigger than this one. So I cannot wait to see what happens. And the 145 belt will probably be coming out soon.
RMG says Brandon's 2-0 at 145. His only L's at 155. So that clears that up.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and bring on who was slated to
Did he fight Jordan Nash?
I don't remember. They're all blending together now, Mike. But our first guest of the night was supposed to be Steve Tomahawk Townsel. I'm still waiting to hear back from him. He was ready to go, a while back. But right now, our next guest of the evening, we're going to go ahead and bring on our second guest, which will be our first guest of the evening. Now, this guy is well known in the BKFC community, in the bare knuckle community. Everybody sees him at every single event in one of the fighters' corners, taking care of those guys. He is their very popular BKFC cutman. Well, he made his debut Saturday night. He's been boxing his whole life. He's been itching to get in there and get on the fighter side of the house. And he made his debut, and he made it in emphatic fashion with a first-round knockout. Let's go ahead and bring in everybody's favorite cutman, Guillermo Perez. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Yo, what's happening?
Everything good.
Let's make him big. Look at you with those flowing locks. How you been, man? Uh-oh. We got a little connection problem.
Sure get in the way, I'll tell you that. How you guys doing, man?
We're doing
You got a
good.
good connection?
You're a little choppy right now. Can you hear me?
All right, let me. It's probably where I'm at, man.
Hey, back out and come back in. Try
I'm
that.
over here in the woods. In the woods.
All right, let's back them out. Back out of the link and then just sign right back into it and we'll pop you back in.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know, I got to tell the audience here, fucking, you guys write to freaking StreamYard because I'm going to tell you what, there's been all sorts of damn problems with this app for, I don't know, for a while now. They've had all sorts. There's been all sorts of issues in the past month with posting and people coming on and lagging and everything. It's crazy. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know if it's because people are starting to use this program so much that because they used to be like, oh, it doesn't even matter how fast your internet is because you're going off of our server. And I'm like, and I'm pretty sure that's not exactly how it works, but okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? People try to say that. Google said that about their Stadia video game system. Play wherever you want. It'll go as fast as our servers go because that's what you're working off of. It's like, nah, I don't think that's how it works, Google. If you got shit friggin' internet, then your shit's not going to work, period. It's just not how it works. But yeah, I see Steve Townsel was just in our comments saying that he's in here. I don't see him down there. Do you see him down there?
Hey, Steve, if you're watching right now, I'm in the back, not sure what's going on. We don't see you. So can you back out, go into your email and try using the link that I emailed to you? And if that doesn't work, we'll try again. I'll resend them out. Yeah, like Mike's saying, fucking StreamYard. But Big Ben says, let's use a different app then. LOL, you stew nods. All right, how about this?
Yeah. What app?
How about this? We pay for them. Okay. So if somebody wants to sponsor us with some more money that we could pay for a more expensive site, feel free to fucking hook your boys up.
Send it.
All right. Hey, we got Steve Tomahawk Townsel in the guest room right now. We're going to bring him on. We're going to bring on G after him. Here he is. Cutman G, if you could just hang in there for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and talk to Steve Townsel, and we'll bring you on in a few minutes. All right. All right. Tomahawk.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. We've been wanting to have you on for a while, and it hasn't happened. And you were supposed to fight this Saturday night, and it did not happen. What is going on with this fight between you and Chris Sarro that just is plagued and cursed? It's the Khabib Tony Ferguson of the BKFC. It just can't get made. What's happening with this thing, man?
Man, I really don't know what's going on. All I can say is that I've been ready both times, ready to go. I am in the best shape of my life. I feel extremely dangerous. So I could just speak from my end of things. I'm not really sure what's going on over there. I know that the BKFC did everything they could to make this fight happen both times. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't want to speak on nobody else. All I can do is speak on me. 204, you know, weighed in, ready to go. At weigh-in day, you know, I find out that I'm not fighting. So apologize to the fans. You know, trust me, I'm just as, you know, feeling shitty about it as everybody else, if not more.
You know, you came in to the BKFC. You were a BYB guy. You came over 1-1. Your first fight in the BKFC was against Gustavo Trujillo, and everybody knows Gustavo Trujillo. He's a goddamn Terminator. He is the Cuban assassin. You went in there. You did not back away from the challenge. You guys slugged it out for a little bit. He ended up coming out on the winning end with the big knockout. But after that fight, you went and started training with him. You changed your camp. And talk a little bit about switching camps after that fight, and how much has that changed you as a fighter so far?
Oh man, so after that fight, I pretty much was right back in the mix, and I was set to fight Sorrows. You know, me and Gustavo had spoke a couple times before that. He had found out that I was fighting Sorrow, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, why don't you come down here? I'll speak to Tigre and, you know, do camp down here and we'll get ready down here." So I think that was that was a Friday. Monday, I was in Miami, quit my job, moved to Miami. I spent 9 weeks down there training with Gustavo, El Tigre, Luis Palomino, Tyler Goodjohn, amongst a bunch of other amazing fighters. That transition was, man, it was the game changer. It was the game changer for me. I have a boxing coach down here in Byron Zamora, which has been completely amazing for me. He's still my coach, along with Eric Castanos. But going down there, separating myself from everything, it was the first time that I'd actually went away for camp. I lived at Luis Ortiz boxing gym, King Kong's boxing gym down there, and I was dormed up. So I mean, I ate, slept. Everything I did was for camp. Just being around those guys and the energy, that caliber of fighters, that caliber of coach, changed everything. And it kind of let me see what I was doing wrong. I mean, these guys are not only good fighters, man, but they're good people and good friends. And when you're around those things, you can kind of see the difference in the things that you were doing previously. And I wasn't doing enough as a fighter. And they helped show the way. So, I mean, I'm extremely grateful for them and for that fight that happened.
Wasn't Sorrow training with those guys at one point?
So Sorrow's trained out of Fish Street, and we would my guys would frequent. They'd go there to spar with a couple other, the guys in those areas. But that's Miami. Like, that's the –
yeah.
I mean, Miami is the Mecca right now. I mean, you can't – there's a gym on every corner, whether it's MMA, karate, boxing, bare knuckle, and all those guys, they deal with each other on a regular basis. So, I mean, you're kind of in and out of those gyms. Everyone's kind of got that respect. I mean, you see how big the shows are down in Miami. I mean, they're huge and they're full with, guys from Miami fighting on those cards. And right now, I mean, Miami's taking over the game. I mean, if you ask me.
It really is. It really is. And like, they all, like, people still call Vegas the fight capital of America. I'm starting to think that Florida, like just the state of Florida itself is becoming the fight capital of the country. Like everywhere in Florida, there's boxing gyms, MMA.
So COVID, everything shut down. No one had places to train. No one had places to go. They weren't putting on shows, and then boom, we open up and everyth's running. So, I mean, that's including the gyms and the shows. So, and now it's kind of just, people have found a home here. So I mean,
it's great. Hey, so you were training for Sorrow the first time. He ended up pulling out of that fight. Was it me and Mike were trying to remember, was it a knee injury? What was it that made that fight fall out the first time?
Like, I try not to talk about anybody. It was supposedly a knee injury, man. Mm-hmm. This is another incident that happened. Whatever the case is, man, he wasn't there.
And then you ended up with Idris Wasi, who took the fight in a couple of days' notice, and he was very game.
He took that fight in 2 weeks, man. Super game opponent, super good guy, man. That was a good fight. That was a good fight for me. That was a good fight for the fans. I mean, that was a 4-round banger of a back and forth fight. I'd like to see that guy back in the circle and see what he's got going, man. Get a full camp behind him. So I mean, like, that worked out great for me as far as the game opponent. I think he probably put on a better fight than Sorrow would have. When
you found out finally, like, oh, you are not fighting, right? You weighed in, and they're like, oh, your opponent, Chris Sorrow is going to weigh in at a later time. So you find out you're not fighting. What do they tell you after that? Do they say, hey, listen, you're not fighting, but we'll line something up next month. We'll line up Sorrow in a couple weeks, not a couple weeks, next month, or, a couple events from now. Did they promise an event or a person to you?
So, so listen, man. So they tried to get somebody overnight. Like I told you, when BKFC went out of their way to try to get me on this card, I mean, they really did. They had a couple guys lined up. They would have flown them in overnight. The athletic commission would have made something happen as far as weigh-in goes. It just, I mean, with that amount of time, there wasn't a bunch they could do. But I can tell you this, I can't give you an opponent, but I can tell you January 27th, South Carolina,
Nice.
Myrtle Beach. You know, we're opening up the state, man. I'm on that card.
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to it. They say things happen for a reason. So what do I get, an extra 8 weeks of camp? Man, you know, I mean, like, things happen for a reason, and I'm just, you know, I'm blessed to be able to, you know, to do what I do, and I'm happy to fight on that card.
That's awesome.
205 is your home, right? That's where you're going to stay now?
I'm going to tell you, like, 205 is where I want to be, man. I kind of want to make a home here, but when things make sense, they make sense. You know, I fluctuate. I weigh in between 205 and 240. You know, I mean, you catch me at the right time, and it all just depends. And I like fights, man. I'll fight the guys that no one wants to fight, you know. I'll be the monster slayer, you know. So if there's somebody that they need to fill in, or there's a fight that's just not happening because they're not wanting to fight it, man, there's not a man in this roster that I won't fight, you know. So I want to be at 205, but I ain't closing the door at heavyweight because I don't see none of them dudes either.
Nothing below 205, though, right? You would never go below.
I mean,
is cutting below 205 impossible?
No, it's not impossible. I think I can make 185 with proper diet. I mean, my first camp ever with the nutritionist was my last camp. Man, I ate every day. I ate full meals, everything. I mean, it's a science to this. Like I said, the professionalism that has changed in my game in these past two camps is just night and day. Thinking that I knew what I was doing a lot, you know, that's just, I guess I was just kind of, I want to say ignorant, but I mean, there's just so much more to it. And I mean, with the science and everything going into it, training wise, rest wise, diet wise. And I mean, my coach is a 5-time world champion, just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Luis Palomino, he's a 2-divisional, you know, how many
Undefeated.
multiple times, you know, pound for pound, best, you know, come on, man. Like, these guys are really helping me, show me the way. Gustavo, like, I mean, these guys are helping me show the way. Like I said, I wasn't on that level, that knowledge of the fight game. And now, man, I have those things. My coach down here, once again, Byron Zamora, man, my strength and conditioning, man, I didn't lift weights, man. I didn't do those things. I kind of just, I went at it. You know, I was that guy that, you know, what you want to fight, let's go, let's bring it in. And I trained hard, but there wasn't a science behind any of it. Now, I mean, everything I do has a purpose. And that's the game changer. You know, that's changed everything for me. I'm in better condition now than I've been my entire life. I turned 43 in March. And
what do you think is the biggest hurdle that stops you from going to a gym like that in the first place? Because I feel you're not the only person. I mean, you talk to a lot of people that train, and they're either on their own or they're with like one person, or, you know, but then all of a sudden they go to this gym like that. You probably could have went in there, and these guys could have been like, yeah, definitely welcomed you with open arms. Like, what stopped you from going to something like that in the first place? You know, did you just think you were good at, like, you had enough where you were?
No, so I live in Fort Pierce, Florida, by the way. You know, I'm about 2 hours north of Miami. So I'm just 2 hours away from these gyms. And don't get me wrong. Listen, my gym down there in Miami, it is not a big gym. My gym's not big. I mean, it's an amazing place, but it's just not, it's not a American Top Team. You know, it's not a Sanford. It's not one of these giant gyms, man, but it is everything you need. And a lot of these small gyms are the same thing. The thing is just the distance, you know. I mean, you go, most fighters go with what they have around them, you know, the gyms that are in the area. And my gym that's here, like, my guys, we train out of a garage in one instance, you know. A bunch of the guys I came up with, you know, which is, you know, Treasure Coast Cartel, like, they're out of a garage and they're training on a cage in the backyard. But all these guys are going pro and undefeated right now. You know, you don't need a big gym.
Yeah.
Personally, I needed that change. Like I said, it was to me to get out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone is where I'm at. You know, I have 4 daughters. You know, I worked a full-time job. You know, I'm a full-time dad. Yeah, man. So like I would
Yeah.
do all these things, and then I would go train at nighttime for my few hours out the night, and then I'd come home and I'd redo it all over. So
Wow.
when I left here and I went to Miami, I really had some amazing people helping me and that believed in me down here, with my girls, um, my girlfriend, just everything in general. Like it takes a lot to do that when you have a whole life, and a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
people just aren't able to leave, and
Yeah.
I was blessed to have that opportunity. And like I said, I went down there for 9 weeks. I'd go there Monday through Friday, come home Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, bring my kids to school on Monday and be back down in training. And I'd live in Miami, you
Yeah.
know? So like, that's not, um, I'm not going to say it's not realistic. It's just not one of the easiest things for somebody to do. I mean, it
Right.
takes a
Yeah.
lot for, and I make decent money doing what I do. It's just hard to put that down because those are the bills that pay the bills. Those are
Right.
the bills that are putting food and clothes on your kids. So I just, for once, man, I took a huge gamble on myself. And I had the right people supporting me, and I went down there, and it really just it paid off. Um, and
Will
that's
you
home.
will you head down there, like say after the holidays, after the new year? You got a fight coming up on January 27th at the beginning
Listen,
of January. Are you gonna head down there?
I'm gonna be there this weekend, man. Like nothing's
Okay.
slowed down. I've been training this week, so like I said, I have my boxing coach is here.
Yeah.
I still train with him every day that I'm not down there. When I go down there, I go down there probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because legitimately I got my job again. I got to pay the bills. You know what I mean? So I train down there 3 to 4 days out the week, and I'm back here for the opposite amount of the days, and I'm still training. You know,
It's a commitment,
but
man, for sure.
Yeah.
it's a huge commitment, and the thing about it all is, like I said, man, I'm 43 years old. This was going to be my fifth fight, my fifth bare knuckle for this year. All right. Uh, I, I have a sense of urgency. All these other guys, they're taking one or two fights and they're okay with it, man. I want to fight every chance I get. If as long as I'm good to fight, man, I'm ready to go.
It's amazing.
I want to do everything I can while I can because, man, we only got so much time here, and I'm really enjoying myself, and I feel like I got a lot in my tank, and I just want to use it while I got it.
I can tell you, man, you're a well-liked guy. The fans love you. You go in there, you pour it all out. Me and Mike ran into you the last time we were down in Orlando,
Orlando, yeah,
and
man.
you said hello to his Uncle Pete, who's becoming
Uncle
like
Pete.
a urban legend
Uncle
around the
Pete,
Uncle
what's
Pete.
going on?
Yeah, Uncle Pete said what's up. But hey, can I ask you a couple questions that are in these comments here?
Yeah.
Say a name got brought up a few times here. Jay Fish, was Jay Fish ever?
Oh, so yeah, man. So Jay Fish was on the list for this last fight, and if I guarantee you, if they would have had Fish on there, we that dude would have showed up with a half a leg, one eyeball
Yeah.
hanging out of his head. That guy's a banger, man.
Yeah, he is.
I was looking forward to that fight. I spoke to him the same night that I talked to you guys. But things were already in the mid contract was in,
Right.
me and Sorrow, we were set to bang, and I was looking forward to that fight too. But Fish was on the list, man. He had taken an MMA fight, it was like in October or something, which kind of set
Yep.
it changed things,
Okay.
it changed some things up, and I think that was the altercation and it all. I don't deal with the politics, man.
Yeah.
I'm just here to fight. They want me to fight somebody, man. That's who I'm gonna fight. But Fish was he was a name that was definitely there.
Another name, Jeremy Smith. He just fought the other night.
Yeah, he's never been on the portray for me personally. You
Okay.
know what I mean? I like Jeremy Smith, man. If we ever have to, bang it out, I mean, we're fighters. That's just what we do.
Because I know he goes 185 to 205 back and forth. So I wondered
Yeah,
if he was ever a guy possibly for you.
I mean, listen, I'm not putting nothing past nobody. In this game, is if you're good, you're bound to face each other. It'd be cool to face him at the top before that. I mean, like I said, I'm friends with the guy. He's cool. I wouldn't mind getting some good training rounds with him, but he's not off the list. And I'm sure it's the same for him. Like this is what we do, and our sport is just, I mean, we're still so fresh. I mean, you got a handful of guys that are going to bang it out. I think that'd be a good fight for both of us.
And one more before we're gonna do a fun game with you before we let you go. But another question in here says, "Okay, seriously." Big Ben says, "Okay, seriously. Tell us how you feel about Sorrow. As fans, we need to know. Do you have
Inquiring minds want to know.
inquiring minds need to know how you're feeling about your opponent that has fallen through 2 times now?
What are they trying to do to you, Steve? What are they doing?
I'm going to give it to y'all how it is, man. So, as a fighter, I like Sorrow, man. I'm just really disappointed in the situation. It's hard for me to not be biased, man. I was stood up twice. Imagine if I didn't get, those paychecks or those guys to follow up on that, man. I would have been left with absolutely nothing. My entire camp, money goes into camp, guys. None of this shit's free. We put money and our time involved in it. So when an opponent doesn't show up on weight or something happens, man, we end up getting left with what? Come on, man. So, I mean, I wish him the best. I hope everything works out for this dude. But personally, I wouldn't care to even see him across the ring with me anymore, to be honest, man. I'm moving forward. No disrespect to him. Like I said, I wish the dude the best, but I got to move forward, and it's 2 times. What they say, 3 times is a strike. Well,
yeah. Maybe sometime down the road.
If the BKFC wants it, man, I owe that dude an ass whooping, and he can get it whenever they're ready to give it to him.
There you go, Big Ben. I think you got your answer there. we're gonna ask you. So, dude, it is the Christmas season. We're gonna ask you some questions. Christmas Q&A with Steve Tomahawk Townsel.
Hey,
here we go. Our first question for you is: what is a Christmas movie that you've watched more than any other Christmas movie in your lifetime?
Christmas Story.
There it is, Christmas Story.
That right away.
I'm 1980. Like that's the one, man, for sure.
There it is, number 2.
That would be my second. I think my number 1 would be Home Alone right now. What do you believe is the worst Christmas song ever made?
Holy cow, man. Is there a bad Christmas song, man? Come on, guys. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, shut your bah humbug asses up, man.
Yeah, man. Don't make you put me on the spot here. I got kids. They love all the songs.
Sing them all. Damn it.
All right, then,
Pum Pum.
There's no bad songs. Here we go. Number 3. Can you name all of Santa's reindeer?
Absolutely not.
Sing the song, the Rudolph, right? We're talking about, Dasher and
Donner and Blitzen and Mixon. I mean, come on.
Joe Mixon, running back for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, he is one of them, actually. He had to stand in once.
So, hey, we had this conversation about this today, and I was like, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. Everybody knows those 8, right? And he goes, "What about Rudolph?" And I'm a firm believer that Rudolph is a Make-A-Wish reindeer that got one special night because Santa felt bad for him because of his disability, and it was a nice Make-A-Wish story. Yeah, it was a very nice thing for Rudolph, but he is not one of the core 8. Be gone with your red nose.
Damn,
it's those 8.
Deuces.
Rudolph ain't playing none of Kyle's games.
Yeah, number 4.
All right. What is the craziest Christmas time impulsive buy you've ever purchased? Like, I just have to have that. It's on a Christmas deal. It's a Christmas sale.
My daughter asked, the only thing she asked for was a freaking piano, and here I am thinking that I'm going to buy like a keyboard or something now, but I got her a piano.
A piano.
And listen, never played it, dude.
Never played it?
Never played it. Like
7,000 pounds.
Yes, man. So it's like one of those things. It's like she didn't ask for anything else. That's it. So I was like, you know what? Get a piano. Yeah, I'm gonna get a piano.
That's good,
man. I should have.
It looks nice in the house, though. Probably.
Yeah. He pictured her out there, like just playing that shit, like kind of fucking.
What kid asks for
Nutcracker
a piano?
Suite?
I bought the book and the lessons for it, and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have a little Mozart off in here, man. She's just gonna be playing away. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, man. And our last question for you: Last Christmas question for Steve Tomahawk Townsel. If you could dress up like Santa, break into somebody's house, leave something as a gift, whose house are you breaking into and what are you leaving?
I'm gonna break into my mama's house.
So what are you leaving?
I'm gonna leave a brand new car, keys in her seat of her car, as well as a new set of keys to a new house. Man, this is my mama. I grew up super poor, man, and I used to always tell her that I was going to do all these things for her, and I haven't quite made it to where I could do as much. But if I could dress up like Santa, my mama would have a new house and a new car sitting right
Fantastic.
there waiting for me. And that's
Beautiful.
Mom, and I love her. Mama, I love you.
Great answer. Great answer from a good guy here, man.
I got one more for him,
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I've got one more for you, and it's a bonus question. We've been asking everyone all season long, and I even have a tally at work that has over 100 people who have answered.
Okay.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Fuck yeah.
There it is. Another
Undefeated
one for
this question on this show so far this year.
Come on,
man, we've done extensive research into this, and there's no denying that it's a Christmas movie. People are crazy for denying that.
Yeah, you can't, man.
There it is, man. Great talking to you, Steve. We hope to see you January 27th in South Carolina. Sure. We will be there. Mike and I are planning on being there. We haven't been to the last two, I think.
We're opening up the state, man. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the first time BKFC is going to be there, man. It is going to be a show, and I am excited. So we'll catch you guys.
We will catch up with you before that event. You come back on here. We'll talk about who your opponent is and what we have to look forward to. All right, bud? Absolutely, and with that said, take a second, shout a few people out, and then we'll let you get out of here.
I want to thank my coaches, Eric Castanos and Byron Zamora. I'm going to get my sponsors real quick. EBM Media, SkySail Home Group, Condemned Labs, Stuart Sod, Insane Tattoo, and Art Drywall. Man, I really appreciate your support. Sorry we didn't get to banging out this past Saturday, but we're going to make up for it in January. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, in the new year. All right, buddy. You have a good Christmas holiday with your family and your daughters, and we will catch up with you next year, all right?
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right. Take
Later.
It easy. Later. Steve Tomahawk Townsel. He is a really nice guy, man. We've ran into him a few times at these events, and I enjoy talking with him, and I enjoy watching him fight. So I can't wait to see him in there.
That's one thing that I've come away from when we've met him. He has been so nice. I mean, we say it time and time again. Every time we go to a BKFC event, everyone's so cool. If I get a room in the hotel, I go to the hotel, drop my bags off, and I walk out to the lobby because you run into all these good people. Everyone's so cool. And we're about to have a really cool guy on right now who stopped in for about a second, had to drop off, but he's back. And he's a guy that we run into in the lobby all the time. And we say, what's up? We shoot the shit after the fights, before the fights. And I'm very excited to have him on because, he's the cutman. And now he finally got a fight, and it was awesome. So without further ado, let's get him in here. There he is. G, the cutman.
What's up? You have me? Good?
Yeah, we got you. You got some choppy internet over there, brother.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Out here in the sticks.
Where are you out in the sticks? Where are you?
I'm actually in a small town in Pahokee, Florida, by Lake Okeechobee.
Lake Okeechobee. I've only heard of that before. I have no idea where that is.
Man, they do a lot of bass tournaments out here.
Are you a big fisherman?
Oh yeah, definitely a big fisherman, big hunter. I got fishing in my backyard and hunting in my front yard.
Well, I see nice. I see the trophies on the wall behind you back there. So.
Oh yeah, you see it right there, huh?
Yo, today on the way to work, no bullshit. I didn't even tell you about this today at work, Mike. Me and my son. I was bringing my son to morning program, and I'm like flying down Pequot Trail. And all of a sudden, this buck comes out in the I've seen so many deer pass Pequot Trail, but they're always like does and like babies, right? This bastard was like a 10-pointer. He was fucking humongous. I slowed right down. He was standing right in the middle of the road, like looked at me like this and just walked into the woods. I was like, holy shit, man.
You don't
Thing
see
is
that
huge.
often.
Man, you slow down. See, better. In this side of town, don't slow down.
I should have took him home, huh?
It's just at that point.
Yeah. It would have been a nice little treat. So, G, man, everybody knows you. Everybody's seen
What's
you
up,
at all
man?
these events. Everybody knows you. Everyone's seen you at all these events. You're always in everybody's corner, but you finally got to step on the other side of the ropes and do your thing with your hands. How long have you been itching to get into the squared circle for the BKFC, and how good did it feel to finally get in there?
Man, it's been a long journey. When I first started the BKFC coming, that's I really wanted to start. I wanted to event first, so everybody knows my skills. Okay.
Hey, G, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
We cannot hear anything that you're saying right now. It's very, very, very broken up. I'm not sure. I don't know if you get the Wi-Fi or something. You get closer to it, or if you know
Let me
oh, you
see
seem
if I
like
get a.
yeah, you seem like you're clearing up for a second
now?
there, but it's super choppy right now. Some people
It's
are
probably,
saying they can't.
it's probably
really
where
understand.
I'm at, man. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time. We will chat
what it
amongst
does real quick.
ourselves while you're going to the new spot here. You know who
He's out there
you
with
brought
the
up
peep frogs now.
you brought up Jeremy Smith in
Mhm.
Townsel's interview. We forgot to mention that Jeremy Smith, how he was losing in the first round, 2 rounds, right? And then Ryan Perez gave him the business between rounds.
Yeah, that was great, man.
And he fucking took those words to heart and got back out there and fucking got that win. And that shit was crazy because he was losing for sure. That fight went any further like that, he would have lost all those rounds, and then it would have been over. But he went right out like a bat out of hell and got 3 knockdowns and won the fight in the very next round. So that was pretty cool. That was crazy. That was a good fight.
Let's see if G's got a better connection now. G,
Looks
can
like
you hear
it.
us?
Better?
Oh my God.
Fucking
Awesome.
million times
Way better.
Yeah,
All
way
right,
better.
Sorry about that.
Dude,
But
so,
yeah,
so
man, like
yeah, go ahead and
go
talk
ahead.
about what I asked you about there.
What was that? Go ahead again.
No, I was gonna say go ahead and like reiterate what you were trying to say before because nobody got any of it.
All right, so repeat that question again. I'm sorry.
I was saying how like everybody knows you, everyone sees you at all the events. You've been at all these events. You've been boxing your whole life. You've been itching to get on the other side of those ropes and throw hands. How long have you been wanting to get into the squared circle, and how good did it finally feel when you finally got in there?
Man, it's been a long journey. When I first started working for Bare Knuckle, I actually wanted to compete. Actually, I've been telling everybody, yo, I'm competing, and they were like, yo, so when are you gonna compete? I'm like, you know what? I'm actually finally competing, in December. Like nobody actually believed me until they saw posters and I was like, okay, so I guess it's serious now. So, it felt great, man. It felt like a dream came true actually, man. Like it was, as you can see, I was smiling the whole time. Like I was very, very excited.
And I think that you told us in Denver that
Yeah.
you were going to be fighting. And
Yep.
when you first said it, I think Mike and I both, like you just said, were like, at first we were like, is he being serious right now? Or like, are you fighting? And you're like, yeah, I'm fighting. I'm fighting in December. We were like, oh shit, that's fucking awesome. Now, before we talk about your fight, I know it's like a shitty topic to bring up, but dude, a lot of people lose their opponents short term, but yours was like a whole different thing that nobody's really had to deal with. This tragedy with Gerald Grigori. When you heard about it, tell us what was going through your mind, and were you at any point thinking about not even doing the fight?
Man, honestly, I was actually the first one that got the phone call. So actually, his brother gives me a phone call, and I was literally in the middle of having dinner, and I get a phone call from Keith Kelly, and he was telling me, "Hey, man, my brother passed away." I was like, "Hold on, man, like, who's your brother?" Like at first, it didn't hit me. And he was
Right.
telling me, you're supposed to fight him December 3rd, and I was like, "Oh my God, no, don't tell me this." Like, so right there and then, I was like, I was worried about their family first. Forget about my fight. I'm not worried
Right.
about that now. It's just like what a sad situation. Like the family has to go through. So at that point, I was like, all right, so I got to contact. So I contact Nate, and then I told him the situation, and he was handling it. But yeah, man, it was a
Gee,
crazy,
when you
crazy.
when you contacted them, you said that you were the first phone call from his brother. Had
Yeah.
he let the BKFC know already? Like when you talked to Nate, did Nate
Not
already know?
no, no, he did not know that information
Wow.
yet. I mean, he was surprised himself, and I was like, yeah, man, I just because I'm really, really good friends with his brother. Like every time I go up to Montana, me and him hang out, like we're cool. And I
Wow.
honestly, like, I totally had, like, I felt so bad for him, man. Like he's been through a lot. The whole family been through a lot. Now he left 4 kids behind, and it's a situation that nobody should ever go through.
Oof.
Wow. Man, so that was a challenge. Now at that, like I said, were you like considering pushing off your debut to a later date, or did you still want, like, if Nate was willing to find you somebody, you were willing to just stay on there right off the
I
rip, no
mean, I
matter what?
mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, I was there, and no matter who it was, I was still gonna go out there and show my performance. But like I had that, behind my head, like, man, what a situation. Like nobody should ever go through that. It's a little messed up too, because I've worked the kid's corner as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so it's not just a fight. Like I actually had a little conversation with him. Like, me and him had a little vibe.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
talked to me
Absolutely.
about his problems and stuff like that. Like but it's all right,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it sucks. It's a
Yeah.
sucky situation.
It absolutely is. It's definitely a shitty situation. And like I was saying, as I was introducing you onto the show, for people who aren't at the events in the hotels and they see what type of a tight knit community the BKFC is, it's really people. I think people, when they watch fights, they think like this guy's fighting this guy and they hate each other. And when they fight each other and then they go their separate ways, even if they seem like they're cool in the ring, but it's not really the case. It's more like everyone fights and then they all hang out with each other afterwards, So it's not like,
100%.
yeah, so it really is a
It's
close community.
yeah, it's not like what people think. Like, yo, just got into, like, they even asked me, yo, you just got into a fist fight with this guy. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's like, no, it's okay. Like tomorrow I'll see him. I will shake his hand. I want to go have a beer with him. Like, yo, you okay? You good? Like, yeah, I'll be your cutman again. Let's go.
Right. Right. So
Nah, it
yeah.
is awesome, man. It's
Listen, once you step in that square circle, it's nothing but business. Once you
all
step out of there, that's like everything just forget about what happened in that square circle. Now it's all humanized. Like, like
Yeah.
we all humans, we're adults. Like that's right there. We do it for the fans, we do it for the sport because we love it. And that's pretty much it. We leave it at that square circle. Whatever happens there stays there.
Now let's talk about that. Now, you had made that walk down there many times as a cutman. You've been down by the ring many times as the cutman. You finally got to make that walk as the fighter, and you know, talk a little bit about just the energy. Did the energy feel different? Like it must have, right? When your music came
Man,
on and you came out, that crowd's going fucking crazy. The energy's going crazy. Talk a little bit about this.
that right there is, I'll tell you right now, is one of the craziest experiences I've ever experienced. Like, I've experienced the crowd, I've experienced the walk, I've experienced everybody around the whole ring. but actually walking down the aisle, going in the ring, and literally towing that line and looking at the other opponent in the faces, it was an amazing feeling, man. It's
lot of
crazy.
nerve. Was there a lot of nerves?
You know what? The nerves didn't hit me until I stepped that line, and I was like, okay, it just got serious, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Here we
everything
go.
else was like tunnel vision. Like I didn't even hear my own coach in the corner, you know? Like everything was.
Who was in your
was
corner?
crazy.
Who was in your corner for that
So,
fight?
it was Nelson Lopez Sr. He's a Hall of
Okay.
Famer. Nelson Lopez Jr.'s dad, and Lavelle Lopez, which is actually Nelson Lopez Jr.'s brother.
So you're
So
very
I had the
close.
whole, I had
with
the whole
Nelson.
Lopez family in my corner.
You're very, very close with Nelson and his family, then, huh? I didn't realize that.
Yes, sir. Very, very close. His dad actually raised me, man. He raised me since I was a little kid. I was like,
Oh shit.
from 7 to 13, 14 years old.
Wow. And
Yeah,
that's how you got into boxing, of
boxing.
course.
Yeah, because like over here, it's we had like an old little boxing, a boxing a gym, and we had kids from all over, the schools, after school programs. We used to go there and just guys, just regular, town home guys, just go and train. We had world champions there. We had Ramon Garbe, we had Emiliano Valdez, Mauricio Pastrana, 5-time world champion. We had Emmanuel Burton. We had many world champions in the gym. And then I trained with all of them, and that's how I got my style. It
So
took a long time, but and like we're here now.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you what took so long. Then you've been around the BKFC all this time. Like you obviously come from a skilled background. You're training with a bunch of killers, man. How come it took so long for you to get in the squared circle?
Man, as a young boy, I really didn't have my father around. He was some accident happened, and he had to do some time in prison. And then I met Nelson Lopez, and then he actually, he showed me the way, like how to deal with things, how to build things, how to like he was like a second figure father to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when my dad wasn't around, and basically he taught me how to fight. Then we competed. We did amateur fights. We got 35 amateur fights. I got my first pro fight as a boxing match, and then let's say like life hit. You hit that life stage that you got to work and you got to help mom with the bills, and it's hard, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, dude,
you get through things like that.
yeah, you look great in there in your debut for BKFC. I know you were 1-0 as pro boxer, but this is your sport now. I mean, like this is where you work. You're around all these guys. You have seen the growth of this sport with the best view of anybody. Like, you've seen the ins and outs. You've seen the bench clearing brawls. You've seen the doctor stoppage cuts. You look comfortable as hell in there, and it was very fast paced. You knew it was going to be fast paced because you've been around the sport. Rob Fuller was a fucking wild man in there throwing,
man, it was
like crazy shit from weird angles, throwing from his hips and stuff. Did anything that he threw land on you? I don't know if you got hit that whole
he
fight.
he actually landed a couple of good hits on me. But like my like Nelson said, you better bite down on that mouthpiece and go.
You
Like
did.
we warriors. We ready to eat. We're not here to just back down. Let's go. Bite down on that mouthpiece and make your shots and make them count.
Now, when you were envisioning the way this fight was going to go, did you see your opponent on his ass 4 times in the first round and getting out of there with a first round knockout?
You know what, bro? I honestly did not vision that at all. I know that I knew deep down that he was in front of me and he was gonna throw everything he had to take my head out, and I had to stop that and do not get hit by that overhand right. So My plan was hit real good, connect real good, and don't get hit.
That's a good plan.
Yeah,
You
that
pulled
is a
it
good-
off.
Yeah, you did.
I
You
mean,
pulled
hey,
it off.
man, I felt them every time he swung with that overhand. I felt that wind just go. I'm like, oof, if he catches me with one of these.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he was also a little heavy now.
Yes.
He weighed in like 150 something a day of fight.
Right.
Shit. I know he weighed like about 6 or 7 pounds more than you at weigh-ins, but
yeah.
Yeah, but fight time, he's rehydrated and everything.
Oh yeah,
and he was
up
windmilling
there.
them thing. Yeah, he was windmilling those overhands at you.
I mean, every time I was catching him, he was getting up. I was like, man, what a weight difference. If it was my same weight, like he would definitely not be getting up,
Yeah.
But since he was a little heavier, he kept taking the punches. I was like, I gotta do something different. I gotta either double up on the punches or something, because one punch ain't doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, did you were you cutman for Rob Fuller in a previous fight?
I was, man. He's actually a good guy, man. He's actually a good, good person. Like, me and him talk, I wait this corner, him and his wife, they're pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. She was there for that fight too, right?
Yeah, she was actually there for that fight.
Man, it must have been, and then you get that win, like the feeling that once the referee waved his arms off like this,
man, that was
go
that
time.
feeling. Yeah, that feeling was I was just so, like, now it hit me like, wow, man, I can't believe I did this, like, and I have all these people. Then my mind opened up to the point that I was like, I can actually hear all these people. Wow, there's so many people here. I didn't realize I'd had that many people at that stadium, at the arena.
DJ
crazy.
Tony said all he heard was G, 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 G,
Oh my
G.
God, man, it was crazy.
Look at that picture right there. That picture's
chills.
fantastic. Look at that shit.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Picture.
This is a real
That
good
picture right there, that actually was right before he hit. So he hit me on the side of my head, on my right side of my head, and I got so mad that I bit my lip, and I don't know if you zoom in. I'm biting the shit out of my lip.
Yeah, you can see
I
it.
was so mad. I was so mad that I wanted to take him out. I'm like, I'm just going in, and they connected.
Oh, look at that one.
That right there, man. Wow, that's like $1 million picture right there.
Have you seen these?
Muhammad Ali picture. That one I haven't seen. This one I haven't seen. That's a nice picture.
That is like a Muhammad
send
Ali
him
picture.
That one, actually, no. I do got that one. I just posted that one up. Yes, I actually do.
Yeah. Yeah, they send them, out afterwards. So I was wondering if you got them.
Gee,
man,
you can tell that you're well
epic.
liked. You can tell that you're well liked because when we get all these photos from the photography from we get the photo dump from Nick Vespi and Phil Lambert.
Those
you
are
don't
my
get
dudes, man.
yeah. They snapped a lot of photos in your fight.
I left out a bunch too. There's more than this.
Yeah, it's funny because some of them fights there'll be like
those
one or two
right
pictures.
Those dudes right there, they can ask me anything they want. I can just, yo, what do you want? You good? I got your back, man. No problem.
Yeah.
Anything. They're good dudes, man. Phil, Nick, James, all of them. They're all good people, man.
They definitely got some frameable, hang on your wall worthy photos out of your first fight.
Oh yeah, man. It was epic, man. Like, I still sit down and I say, I can't believe it just happened. Like, I woke up the next morning and I thought it was a dream. Like,
let's talk about this. You sit down, you think about it. You think about it all. It's all a dream. It was not all a dream. When are you doing it again?
Man, listen. I told Nelson, as soon as I heal up, whenever you I tell him, whenever you think I'm ready, you put me in there. Like, so I really leave it up to him. Like, I say, yo, I'm ready. I've been in the gym. Like, let's keep it rolling,
When you say heal up, is it just your hands? Your hands take a little swelling, a little beating?
Yeah, just a little swelling, just enough so I can start hitting the bag and working out again. Like, I'm good, as you can see. Like,
yeah,
I walked out pretty clean. Hands is always gonna swell up. That's normal. Nothing's broken. Just want to be 100% back in the gym.
And all the fighters. You're around the roster. Everybody there is in the organization pretty much. Is there anybody in that weight class that you would be interested in fighting? You got a name?
Honestly, I don't really like calling people out because I know all of them and they're all cool. If they're presented in front of me, I just want to tell everybody that don't take it personal. It's just the fight game. At the end of the day, we're gonna shake hands. We're gonna give ourselves a hug and a kiss, and we're gonna do it again whenever.
Mm-hmm.
I love this thing, man. I love this game, and I'll tell you right now. I posted that video of Tom Schoaf wiping the blood and flicking it off his fingers from that fight with Palomino.
Man.
All I put on my story today, I shared that, and I said, "This is the best sport. This is the best sport."
It's
I love
unreal.
this shit. It's fucking unbelievable. What'd you think about that?
They're lucky they didn't give me the mic, man, because I was gonna get that whole crowd going.
That
man.
place would be going crazy.
Whoa.
You won your fight. All the energy, you got all this. You're on top of the world. Did you stick around? Did you go out and hang out in the crowd around the arena?
The first person that I went to or yelled out to in the ring was my mom. I was like, "Yo, where's my mom at?" Because she's she's very her nerves was going. So
I can imagine.
Making sure. Oh my God, it was exciting, but man, her nerves, boy, I can hear her yelling in the back. It was amazing, man. It reminded me when I was literally in the amateurs, and I can just hear her ringside just yelling at me, "Let's go, let's go." Oh,
man, that's awesome.
You must have felt amazing. The proud son. She's a proud mom. You're a proud son. You went out there and you got a first round knockout in front of your mom like that. That shit must have been amazing. And then you get to go hang out with her and watch Dave Mundell and Francesco Ricci and Paolo. Oh my God, that was a fantastic fight card.
Listen, all the fights were awesome.
Yeah. The women's fight was great. The Fames and Futrell going the distance. Mundell's a maniac. Louis Lopez shocked everybody against HD, and then Tom Schoaf just goes out there against the best of the best and just keeps getting up until the doc has to stop him for his own good. You know what I mean? It's just and Muzi, we were talking about this earlier. As fans, when we're watching this and they call it for a cut, we're selfish fans, we're always like, "Oh, come on, he could keep going." And then they show it up close and you see it afterwards and you're like, "Oh, the doc for a reason." So you ever question the doc?
Oh no. I've never questioned the doc. And if the doc said is off, is because there's a reason why it's off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna call it off just because it's just for giggles. No, if he feels like you're in danger and you can't continue, it's because there's a reason. I know. Listen, everybody hates the doc, but that's his job. He's the doc.
Yeah.
He has to make sure that the fighter is in great condition and healthy enough to even continue to the next event. If he, you know what I'm saying? If the doc doesn't, if he lets him continue and something does bad happens, then what? Then he's not gonna be able to fight for the next event. So don't sit there and complain at the doc because he's saving your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. He's doing it for the fighter's own good. The fighters are always going to be too tough for their own good. They're never looking for a way out.
The fighter ain't never gonna say no. The fighter will die right there on that
and
line.
I'm going to tell you, man, anybody that hasn't seen the Schoaf cut, go to his Instagram, and he posted a picture of in the fight when a piece of meat,
a meatball hanging out of his face.
And then the stitches went from his cheekbone all the way up to the tip of his bottom eyelid. The stitches are almost touching his goddamn eyeball. And I'm
almost like you'd open it like a book if you needed to.
Yeah, flap it open.
Oh yeah,
like his eye would fall out of his head if he would have went one more round.
Yeah, it'd have been hanging out, and he'd be like, "I'm good to go."
And then and then poor Cutman not G, the other cut man would be putting his eyeball back in his fucking head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's
Hey,
some
listen,
of the?
a lot of people don't know how important a cut man is to have a good
Oh,
cut
yeah.
man in your corner.
Oh, it is.
If you don't stop the bleeding, they're gonna stop the fight.
Right.
Right.
If you don't stop any swelling, they're gonna stop the fight. If you can't see, they're gonna stop the fight.
The cut man was Eddie for him
So
that night.
oh man, Eddie's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was in your corner that for your fight? Who's cut man for
Eddie
you?
was my Eddie.
Oh, Eddie was yours?
Eddie was my cut man. Yeah, Eddie was my cut man.
Nice. So you felt comfortable. You didn't want no stranger.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I didn't have to worry about. I actually told Eddie, hey man, you have a mirror, and then so I can do my own little cuts. He goes, man, you crazy? What's wrong with you?
That's what you should be thinking about between rounds in that 1 minute is taking care of your own cuts. Well, you didn't have to worry about it because it didn't.
He goes, if I bring a
guarantee to get
mirror
any
up here, the commission's gonna kill me. He's gonna be like, what the hell you doing with that mirror, boy?
Oh man, yeah, lucky. Yeah, like Mike said, lucky for you, you never even had the opportunity to let Eddie do any work because you got out of there and won.
You. Hey, I said, man, I said it. I said, I'm not gonna get touched. I cannot get touched. You know, so I put it to my head. Like every time I'm hit, my head is moving out that center, no matter what. And as you can see, like me and him got into a little brawl. Like at the end, that's when I got hit. Like every time I hit, my head was out the middle. I was not getting hit. Every time he threw, he was missing.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question earlier. I wasn't even sure if any of them even clipped you. It didn't look like anything landed really flush on you at all, and you just kept, popping them and putting them down, and you kept getting back up. It was that fourth one that you put him down on. It was a fourth knockout. Knockdown. Imagine if he didn't get waved off. What's 4 knockdowns? Is that a 10-5 round?
Pretty much. Won the round, yeah.
Yeah, imagine
won the round.
Imagine if he ended the round with 4 knockdowns and went into a second. It would be a 10-5 round for G going into round 2.
Yeah.
Oh my
You never seen that ever.
He can't even win the fight if you want him. He'd have to knock you out.
Yeah, man. Dude.
Or knock you down every round. That's crazy.
Congratulations to you on your debut.
It
was exciting to see you in there. It was really fun to see you in there for sure after, seeing you so many events and finally getting you in there. We're going to run you through some Christmas questions real quick and then we'll let you go. All right, buddy? Christmas Q&A with the man himself, Guillermo Perez. What is your top 3 Christmas movies from 3 to 1?
Oh, when I was growing up, I used to watch what was that? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was a cartoon movie, though, man.
Yep.
It was
with the
never,
dentist.
And you know what's funny? Yeah. And then the Grinch, Grinch was another one, and then one of the Home Alone movies, one of the Christmas Home Alone movies. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are the best.
You talking about the original, like the Grinch of Dr. Seuss?
Yeah,
one?
the old,
Not that Jim Carrey bullshit.
No.
I'll tell you what, the new one that came out a few years ago was good. That one was really good. But yeah, definitely the Grinch.
All right. It's funny you say Home Alone because Mike's got a question for you, number 2.
What was the best Home Alone trap?
Oh, I say the trampoline, man. The trampoline when it fell in when it fell in the water. When he jumped. You remember in the pool when the bad guys.
Which number was it? Was it 1, 2, 3?
3?
Maybe 3. I think I might have, was it Home Sweet Home Alone? Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
I think I've seen this one.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
You know which one? You know which one?
We're both thinking number 1, and then that's right. There's number 3.
You know what? The one that like hurts me to my core every time I watch it in the first Home Alone, when Marv is walking up the stairs and he nailed that giant nail through the step.
Oh,
and they show his foot when like his bare foot steps on that nail. It makes me fucking cringe.
You want to know what?
Single time.
I did that. I was playing Manhunt back in the day with a bunch of friends, and I was on the
Manhunt. Oh my God.
Yes.
Remember Manhunt?
Hell yeah.
I was
You
playing
brought it back
Manhunt.
way back.
Yeah, that's the shit. Back in the day, we played that shit every night. So I'm on the top of a shed, right? And I'm in someone's yard because you don't give a fuck. It's Manhunt. You going on people's housetops, you're going on their sheds, you're going in fucking who cares? So I'll hide wherever. Anything's open, I'm going. So I jumped off the shed and there was some wood on the ground. And when I landed, there was a nail and it went through my shoe into my foot and almost out the top, almost out the top. I'm talking about all the way, dude. It was.
Did you take it out right there and then, or you
horrible.
just left it in there?
Well, what happened was when I landed, I felt the pinch, right? And it was in a long piece of wood, but I didn't know. So when I went to go step away, I went to pick my foot up, but the weight was uneven. It was down on the other end. So it basically just pushed it in a little more. Like when I tried to pull it up, it didn't pull out, So I had to put my foot on the fucking board and then rip my foot up to get it off.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
When that happened, I remember going through the fence because it hurt when I hit it, but it was just instantaneous. Oh, fuck, what the fuck? And then when I went to go step away, that hurt really bad. And when I pulled it out, I start walking and I was coming down the road, all hobbling. And my friend
bleeding through your Jordan.
Time out. I was like, time out. And I could just feel the blood just in my sock and in my shoe, just down the road, And I got into my house, dude. I'll tell you what. My foot hurt so much after that. When I had a bunk bed, and I remember trying to climb up the ladder on the end of it to get in, and I couldn't even put pressure on the front of my foot because it was dead center of my foot. It hurt so bad after that for
what kind? Hey, what kind of shoe did you put a hole in?
They were Airwalks.
Airwalks. Look at you, Airwalks. You even remember the fucking shoe.
Yeah, because we used to lie and say Airwalks, their official shoe of Manhunt. I totally made up bullshit.
All right, hey, number 3. Here we go. Third question for you. Talking Christmas trees, real or fake?
Real.
White Christmas lights or colorful Christmas lights?
All depends on the decorations, but white's good.
White's good. And on the top of your tree, star or angel?
I say an angel. Angel always looks down on us,
There you go.
I mean,
he's got you said a real tree?
I see a lot. A real tree. I see stars
tree
when I go outside my house. So having a nice little angel and a Christmas tree looks nice.
I love it. All right, number 4.
What is the weirdest Christmas tradition your family has? What do you guys do for Christmas?
These people dance. They dance and party and cook a big roast pig. They do all
look at
the
that.
Pig roast.
Pig.
Yeah, that's right.
We party the 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, all the way to New Year's.
Hey, I'm booking a
and you
flight
kill
right
the
now.
pig. Do you kill the pig yourself?
So so we have pig farms and stuff that we get the pigs from, or my mom wanted a wild pig. I go out there and catch a wild pig, and
you said you were a hunter. I was wondering if you were going out there.
Yeah, we got plenty of them out here, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love it. You know what? When me and Mike were deployed in 2012-13, Ronnie Jimenez from the Dominican Republic, he was major that was out there with us. He's like, yo, we're doing a fucking pig roast for Christmas this year. And we're like, a pig roast?
Yeah.
He's like, yep, I'm fucking smoking. And it was him and Carmelo Gonzalez. And they made they cooked the pig.
I bet you that was it stuffed or was it
they did it all. They did it right. They had this big fucking pig cooker. I don't know where the hell they even. They had it on a spit.
You had the best of the best.
Yeah, I don't even know where the hell they got it.
We're in the middle of the desert.
In Spanish?
Yeah, dude, we were in the middle of.
Yeah, you.
What is it called?
What's it called?
I said it's called lechon.
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 I'm gonna have to call Carmelo.
It's a roasted pig.
Yeah,
There
it
you
was
go.
roasted. Yeah, it was dude, it was fucking fantastic. And we,
It was.
we're in the middle of we're in the Middle East. I have no fucking clue where they even got a pig. They got one
Yeah, I don't
from
either.
someone. I don't but it was great.
The locals, someone probably got it. They probably knew some locals and cut a deal or some shit. Got a pig out there.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Out there in the middle of the wild like that. I mean, we got sugarcane fields, we got cornfields, we got rice fields and stuff like that. But
Not a
out there
desert.
in the desert, yeah, not a desert.
Hey, where the hell
over
you
there.
guys pulling a pig out of? I don't know where this came
I
from,
don't
but it
know.
was delicious.
There was
All right,
plenty
man.
of camels around there and those fucking stray dogs.
Yeah, stray dogs. Oh man, I got a fucking funny stray dog story. G, we're on this base out in fucking Kuwait. It's called Arif John Kuwait, and there's this fence perimeter around the whole base, and there's like a dirt road or a sand road that goes all the way around the perimeter. We got this warrant officer who goes out for a run every morning. He comes back. He's the most mild-mannered guy. He seems like he's stoned all the time. He's like, Kyle, man, you're never gonna believe what fucking happened to me this morning. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, I'm out for my morning jog, and I hear like, arr. So I look back. He's like, and there's a dog behind me, and I'm like, oh fuck, there's a dog. He's like, so I start picking up pace a little bit. I look back. He goes, there's two dogs. And I'm like, no way. He goes. So I'm like fucking starting to really pick up the pace. I look back. There's a pack of dogs. He's like, there's like 6 dogs behind me, and now I'm in a full sprint, and they're full sprinting behind me. I'm like, holy shit, Chief. I'm like, what the fuck do you do? He goes, the only thing I could do. He goes, I stopped dead and turned around and went, rah! As loud. He goes, and all them dogs just like, and they turned around and ran away. He goes, holy shit, it worked. He goes, I was seriously thinking I'm gonna get mauled by a pack of fucking wild dogs in the middle of Kuwait.
Yo, listen, that happened to me one day, man. I was hog hunting one day, and I run into a pack of coyotes, and these things are like, things are vicious, man. They're trying to bite. They're trying to like, and not just 1, 3. So first thing I get is a piece of cane. I break it in half and start beating the shit out of these coyotes.
What the fuck?
Damn. And then until finally my dogs get there and then they started fighting the coyotes. It was crazy.
That's insane.
My grandfather, I grew up on a farm, and my grandfather we'd find like a dead cow every once in a while in the pasture, and they would have like the whole leg would be like eaten down. Man, they eat right down to the bone. Like the bone will be clean. Like a pack of coyotes will just maul a fucking cow, eat that shit. And they'll only eat like a part of it, you know. We lost him for a second.
He disappeared there. That was his fancy exit. Oh, there he is. He's back. All right, let's continue the questions.
Let's get the last question. Here we go. What is your least favorite item on the Christmas to-do list? This is our last one for you, and then we got a bonus question.
All right. So the least thing that I like to do on Christmas.
Yes, sir.
I say, dang, I don't know. I really like. I really like to do everything on Christmas. This is a hard question, but I say dealing with all the organizing of the food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Like getting stuff ready for the party, basically.
Yeah, you know what it is because you want everything to be perfect. So you got all this stuff to do, right? And you want it to be perfect. So you're cooking like crazy. And the whole time you're hoping, oh my God, I hope this is good, you know? So I get it. I get it. Because I have the family over now and I always want everything to be perfect for their Christmas. Because I'm like, hey, come over. I'm hosting Christmas this year. So everybody comes over and imagine like everything that you serve is just shit. You ruin everyone's Christmas. They're like, oh, the food was shit. I got to go and get fucking Chinese food, McDonald's or some shit. When they leave, they're like, oh.
See, with me nowadays, I would rather host. I would much rather host.
We just started hosting.
Yeah, I would much rather have everybody just come to my house. It's weird to say, but it's much less stress for me to have people over here than to have to fucking go to wherever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
G's back. Let's wrap this up with our boy Cutman G. Last question for you is the big one. Mike is doing a social experiment here. Mike,
is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Did you hear us?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, G?
We don't hear you.
I think we lost your volume here. Maybe take out your earbuds and see if we can just get you on speakerphone for 1 minute and let you get out of here.
There we go.
Oh, there
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, there he goes. Look at this, dude. We are, I guess when we talk to people in the fight game and ask this question, we are going to get a 100% yes all the way across the board. Everybody has said the same thing. It truly is. Shout out to John McClane, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Cutman G.
Everybody, man.
Hey, go ahead, do your shout outs, say your final last words, and we'll let you get out of here, man.
Man, shout out to everybody that came through, the fans, the family, the people there, man. Everybody was amazing, man. Even you guys, man. Thank you, everybody, for being there. It was a crazy, important moment for me. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank Dave Feldman. I want to thank Nelson Lopez for making this happen. And then next weekend, I'm in Myrtle Beach, working cuts.
Yeah, we'll see you at Myrtle Beach.
See you guys there.
Man.
Yeah,
hell yeah, we will see you January 27th, Myrtle Beach. Guillermo Perez. Victorious in his debut, BKFC 34 down in Hollywood, Florida. Congratulations on the win. Thank you for coming by, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. You guys have a good afternoon. Thank you.
All right, man.
See ya.
Take it easy.
There he is, the man himself, G, in the house.
Hell yeah.
Cutman, knockout artist.
Yep. Crazy. What a crazy story there. Cutman to fighter to...
He's awesome, dude. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. He's everybody's buddy down there too. He's like a go-to guy for those guys. And that was just our first show of the week. We have a pretty good show tomorrow night. We have not talked about it. We have not promoted it. We have not even released who we're having tomorrow night until this second right now.
I know.
I'm going to be posting a graphic on it maybe a little later tonight if I get the energy to do it before I go to bed. But we will have 2 guys that will be fighting on this hardcore card out in Russia. Both will be boxing.
Yeah.
You guys love them. You know them. Elvin El Bandito Brito will be on the show tomorrow night to kick off the show. And then we will get the newest signing to GOAT Combat Agency, who will also be boxing on that hardcore card. Smiling Sam Alvey will be on the show after Elvin Brito tomorrow night. So I hope you guys stick with us for the second night of our back-to-backs that we always have when we have Elvin and Sam on there. What do you think of that, Mike?
I think that's cool. We talked to Smiling Sam Alvey. Well, you talked to him way back in December, 2 Decembers ago, Kyle.
Yeah, 2021. December 2021. No, 2020. 2020. 20? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started the show November 11th.
December 2020. I was in Florida and we were doing our awards show. And he came in, you talked to him, and we got back to the awards show. I was in an Airbnb that Marissa was using down in Florida. Yep.
That's right.
I remember that.
Yeah, so
he was in a car driving around.
Shout out to our man over there at our guy Scott Farley over GOAT Combat Agency, hooking us up with those 2 fellas tomorrow night. Yep. Man, now that you say that, we talked to Sam Alvey 2 years ago.
Yep, 2 years ago in December.
In December. That's fucking crazy, man. We've been doing this for a while now and doing a lot of good things, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Shout out to Steve Tomahawk Townsel for coming in tonight and talking with us. Super awesome dude. And Guillermo Perez. Shout out to him. Thank you for coming on as well. Both those guys, good people. Congratulations to G on his win, and we hope to see Steve, January 27th in Myrtle Beach. Make sure you check out our sponsors, Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. Use our promo code, get the 15% off. You need a mortgage, you need a loan, you go over to norcommortgage.com or you go to Mike Mish. You will post their stuff and their links in the bio. Well, look at these t-shirts, man. I'm wearing that one
Beautiful.
tonight.
Yep.
They're awesome, man. Mike, you got anything else for these pleeples?
Yeah, good night. Peace. I'm ready to go to bed. We got drill this weekend. We got a show tomorrow. We got to be up super early. So it's time to say good night. Peace.
Whoa, hey, how are you?
Look at Kyle.